1974, a religious family living in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, started having odd occurrences around the house. Nothing threatening happened, and some people even thought this was explainable, but it wasn't. The Smurls, a family that were well known in the area and pillars of the community, attended church every single Sunday and helped out with garage sales. They started noticing the odd activities when toilets would flush on their own, household electrical items would shut down or even turn on when no one was near them. The Smurls put all the occurrences down to some type of technical issue, faulty wiring, plumbing issues. It wasn't until other occurrences started happening that they thought something was happening to the home. They started smelling foul odours, to which they thought a dead animal may be somewhere in the home, maybe even in between the walls of the home. The house was older than the others in the area, the duplex being built in 1896 and was home to the Smurl family, which consisted of the father Jack, mother Janet and their 4 daughters. Jack's parents also lived with them, but they occupied the right half of the building. With the house being nearly 80 years old, the majority of people put all of this down to the house was just settling. The family would hear knocking or thuds in the home, normally coming in threes, to which paranormal investigators say this is mocking the Holy Trinity. After the foul smells and thuds, things took a drastic turn. The activity around the house started to become more frequent and more horrific. Sightings were often. A TV set burst into flames, pipes continued to leak even after being resoldered, and the new sink and bathtub that was just put in was scratched. In 1975, various sightings and manifestations started happening. The eldest daughter, Dawn, began telling her parents that she saw people floating around her bedroom at night. It wasn't until 1977 that things started to intensify. Footsteps, electrical items which were unplugged started turning on. There were cold spots experienced around the home and the smell intensified. It was also during this time that Jack said he felt a hand caress him and that he had the feeling of constantly being watched. Between 1978 and 1985, the activity continued, to which the family put up with it. It wasn't until Janet gave birth to the 2 youngest, a set of twin girls, that activity increased. Scratches began appearing on the family members' bodies. Walls were scratched and rattled. The family dog and Janet both experienced levitation, and the dog was thrown against the wall. Jack's parents would often hear insults directed at them, screams and other loud noises were also heard by them. The worst was yet to come. As the activity began growing and becoming unbearable, the final straw came when the family members all said they were physically and also intimately touched. The Smurl family contacted their local church, asking if anything can be done. They even asked if an exorcism could be done. The church declined. In January of 1986, after the church declined, the Smurls' only option was to go public. They were constantly in the media, who created so much buzz around it that the story reached famed demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens' investigation lasted for many months, and it wasn't until August of that year they came to the conclusion that there were 4 different entities within the home. 3 of them fairly minor and most likely responsible for the smaller, unexplained occurrences that have currently happened. However, the 4th was a powerful and very angry entity. Ed Warren has been quoted as saying the Smurls are truly a family under a visual attack. The ghost, devil, demon, whatever you call it, is in that home. Due to the power coming from the entity, the Warrens concluded that it was a demon. They contacted a Vatican-mandated exorcist, Father McKenna, who came to the home and performed an exorcism, to which it did not go well. This only angered the demon further. It was during this time that family members reported to be violated violently, and they were becoming more sick as the time went on, nearly to the point of death for one of the youngest twins. Janet and her mother-in-law had traces of bite marks, bruises and cuts all over their bodies. Father McKenna performed a second exorcism on the home many months later. This did not give any positive results. During this time, a slew of rumours began to swirl round about the Smurl family. It was reported they fell on hard times and were looking to sell their home. Others said they were trying to sell their story to make a quick buck, as the Amityville Horror had released 3 movies up to the activity in 1986, with talks of a 4th being considered at that time. A 3rd exorcism was attempted, this time with several priests and a group of parishioners from the local church. It has also been noted that the 3rd exorcism was not supported by the Vatican. It seemed like 3rd time was the charm, as all activity had supposedly stopped for months afterwards. Activity did pick up again, to which the family, after 15 years of hauntings, left the family home. After the family moved out, rumours of the incidents being faked began to appear everywhere. Magazine articles, newspapers, even on TV's news broadcasts. Robert Curran, an author, added more fuel to the rumour fire when he said that Ed Warren, who asked him to write a book on the family, asked him to add more to the story to make it more scary. This book became known as The Haunted. During the aftermath, the Warrens were interviewed by various media outlets. During these interviews, the Warrens claimed that they handed over video evidence to the Catholic Diocese of Scranton. The Catholic Diocese of Scranton were contacted by Decoded Past, who stated they had no video or audio from the Warrens. A brand new family moved into the home in 1988 and have never reported any supernatural activity. The Smurl family moved and have never reported any further incidents.